777. This is my son goddess. 777. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Okay, here I go. Here we at it again. Okay, I did my. I am out here in this rain. Out here in the rain. Greetings. Greetings, greetings, everyone. This is my son goddess. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am now live in the city. Greetings. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Come join. Shout out to the Netherlands. Okay. Greetings, 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 everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. I am going to talk about city life versus country life and which is better or whatever. Come on in, come on in. Anyway, so I have had the fortune of being able to experience living in like the big city, the country life, kind of grew up in nature on a farm and all that good stuff. And I really enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed growing up, you know, living off the land for the most part for several years of the beginning of my life from childhood on up to shit, wow, like kind of like up into my teens, because my grandmother, she didn't pass away till I was like up, not, I was past being a teenager. I was like young when my grandmother passed away, but not like 15, 16. So I grew up for the most part like living off the land on a farm, that type of lifestyle for a big portion. And then once I like moved on my own, I still was like with my grandmother a lot and on the land and all that stuff. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hi. Hi, Caitlin. Hi. Greetings to the Netherlands. Greetings to the UK. Greetings to the US. Greetings to everyone. I want to talk about I'm talking about living on the country versus living in the city life and how I grew up. I grew up like mostly like on like nature and being out in the trees and being on I mean, I grew up like in a Noah's Ark where we had like animals, or my grandmother and my family, they grew their own food, and they even had a smokehouse where they would where they would cure their own meats and stuff like that. So I'm grateful for that. Like it was wonderful. I thought I was rich. I am not gonna tell you nothing wrong. I thought I was a wealthy person living, which I am. I was living like that. That's the life. So I thought I had everything. And I was sort of sheltered, but not too much. And I'm glad I wasn't sheltered like the people on Plattsville, because I would have been fucked if I would have been like that. So I'm kind of glad in a way that I wasn't, but at the same time, I didn't want to ever go to public school. I'm not gonna tell you nothing wrong. The first time that I went to school when I was a kid in kindergarten, I cried. I cried like I cried like I was being taken or something. So I never really liked it, but I was able to somehow make good enough grades where they thought I was smart. So I didn't like it though. It was, and even in that, I was like homeschooling myself. I would do my work and turn it in. I never liked going. I never liked the kids. The kids was always horrible. They was always mean and all that. So they was mean back then too. They were horrible back then. And had I been too sheltered, I would have been really. Had I not had like interfacing with like some kind of like going into what we call like the hood area and stuff like that. If I was just like sheltered, like on the farm all the time and with my family that I thought was perfect and I thought I had the perfect life, honey, I wouldn't have been able to fight. I got bullied and everything when I started going, hey, greetings. When I went to school and I went into this like small town, I know, and I love God and I love the goddess and I love my ancestors unconditionally too. I know God loved me, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, so I'm not trying to get no sad story because even though I was sheltered, I learned to fight by going to the next town over. My aunt lived in the town, so that was kind of like an area where a lot of the kids were. And I'm not gonna say it was a hood because it was like people had houses and a lot of them owned their houses, but it was a sort of it wasn't no real hood though, but I mean I think they thought they were in the hood over there. Cause those kids was like always jumping people and fighting and crap like that, which kids do that in any culture. It's always kids getting together doing diabolical shit. Kids gonna be kids, and most kids, you know, they're mischievous. You know what I'm saying? So it can happen anywhere. I've been in private school. Like I had a diversity of going to different schools too. I was in private school, and those Christian kids, they had the rich parents, that owned the mega churches and the multi-millionaires and all that. And color did not matter. It wasn't even a thing of color because it was kids of all different cultures and whatever. A lot of them were bad as hell. They were bad as hell. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. So yeah, greetings if France is in here. Greetings to y'all. Greetings, y'all over there holding it down over there in the UK, boy. Y'all ain't playing with them people, or are you? Y'all done got sick tired of being sick and tired. Y'all over there holding it down. Greetings, merci de beaucoup. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. What is that? Zephy King Zeus. How you doing? Yeah, merci beaucoup. I speak a little Spanish too, bajito, little bit, bajito. So yeah, shout out to my people standing up to this bullshit that's going on. I mean, it takes a lot of guts and backbone because it's not a lot of people, but they are really doing like trying to do terrible stuff to us globally. Like it's really been a war all along against the human race, but we ain't gonna get into all. We're gonna keep it lightweight today. We're gonna talk about the country life and the city life and how I grew up. And yeah, I grew up on like a Noah's Ark, and we grew our food. And honey, I thought I was rich, and I thought everybody was nice. I mean, I was sort of sheltered a little bit because I didn't think people were as mean and evil as they were. But as time went on, as I started getting out, I don't know what I would have did if I was sheltered like them people on that show Platteville. I like that show too. I know y'all like. She look at that, yep. And my daughter turned me on to it. She turned me on to it. She turned me on to that show, and I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it is amazing how could they shelter those children like that, and then just throw them out here in the world. I would not know what to do if I was them. They shelter them and make them think that you know what I'm saying. They don't need the tools to survive in this world, but then when they get a certain age, they got to get out here in it. That's crazy. See that's not good parent. In my opinion, that's not good parenting. Um, I think you should have kids. I think they should be balanced where they are, you know, having a taste of the nice life and the, the organic foods and um the healthy living and a lot of sunshine and nature and stuff. But they also need to know like what's out here if they got to get out here in this world and deal with these bots and NPCs and what are they gonna do if they grew up in a false reality of thinking that what they say state or something. What are they gonna do if they grow up thinking like everything is like everything at home, where you like living, everybody's coming together and eating dinner? Cause see, that's how it was for me for a while. Everybody's coming together for the family reunions. Everybody's eating dinner on Sunday. Um, I seen a little bit of friction, but I was a kid. I was like, we used to stay outside and play. Oh my God, we stayed outside and played until the street lights came on, and I was out there in the country. Even when I would go to the town over to play with my cousins and stuff, and at my aunt's house, we stayed outside a lot. So it was a different time. But like I said, I grew up where my grandmother, she was like, she made her. Did she ever buy bread? I don't think my grandmother really ever bought bread like that. Maybe she would buy her bread when she bought it. She would buy her bread fresh from it was, they used to call it a, like a bread. We used to go to like a bread house and get it like tip top fresh. But she cooked a lot of her bread from scratch. And I think I'm so grateful that I was able to be in the kitchen with her and experience, the beauty and creation of her skill because she passed that down to me. Um, I am grateful for that. And I've added on to it because I don't know what I would have done now. Sometimes I get a little overboard. I can get a little chunky at times because I can make just about anything I want. But honey, even fast food. But I know how to back away and not like I'm about to start juicing. And I do be doing my intermediate fasting. A lot of times I will go 16 hours at a time, like several days a week without eating, and that helps me a lot. I do a lot of, lymphatic detoxifications because you have to living in certain areas the way they poison us. So and I have some information that coming on all of the stuff that I've been telling you about and that I'm doing and the things I've been doing to survive over in the land of the reptiles and the things that kept me going and restored and healed me not just physically but spiritually, the whole mind, body, and soul, and things that has helped me overcome addictions and things like that. Because we think like, oh, addictions are just this is all subject. We about to get back to the country versus city thing. A lot of times we think addictions are just like gambling. We think addictions are maybe like sex or drugs or alcohol and things like that. But and corn, corn with a CPORN. We think those are the only addictions and things like that. Okay, so we think that the only thing that's addictions are things that we can, in the lust of the flesh and the things like the desires like that. But there are other addictions like being addicted to toxic relationships, being addicted to abuse, not knowing when to walk away, being addicted to pain, being addicted to being in chaos and drama and all that type of stuff. So I'm getting into that more detail and some information that I have coming out soon. So and my personal experiences of being able to overcome and being on the other side of things when I published some things years ago, I was in the storm. Like I was in the midst of it. I was like not on the other side yet. But it took me a while to really, do some work and do some healing and it takes time. Like a lot of times we think that this is off subject of the country versus we think we are over things, but it takes time. Um, I thought I was ready to jump back into some things that I was doing and creating, but it's like I really didn't have a block. I had to go through some more like transformations and healing and different things. And I'm glad that I was able to know that I needed to keep on working on myself and keep right on, healing and keep right on letting things go and shedding and transforming and, rebirth. What is it? Life, death, rebirth, and transformation, becoming the alchemical light body of gold. That's what, I've been, and that takes time and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not, it's a lot of work. So, um, as I get up here and talk a lot of times, I stay up here too long. I think sometimes I do, not lately, but when I was on the laptop and teaching, I'd be up here for like 3 hours. Ain't nobody got time to sit up here and listen to me for no 3 and 4 hours. People, it's so much going on, and people attention spans are short. So I have come up with a creation where it's something that you can do. It don't take long, and you can get the results, and you don't even have to do all of them. But I have had results from people and myself just doing some of the techniques in it, and I'm telling you, it works for your mind. It's a holistic mind, body, and soul. It's like a healing back. Can you stand? I ain't standing up. No, I'm not standing. What am I stand for? You send me. You said, "Look, I'm about to get like them people on the." What? No, I'm not. Who is this? Dickens. How I say that? Tenega. I like that. Tenega. Dickens Tenega. I'm chunky. I'm fat. I'm fat. My back ain't big though, cause I'm not doing the heavy lifting no more, so my back is narrow. So yeah, I'm a big girl. I'm not a big back. My back ain't wide, but it used to be when I was lifting people, when I was doing the nursing stuff. Yeah. So I'm telling you, I'm a fat girl, but I'm sometimes I'm slim thick, sometimes I'm chunky and fat, sometimes I'm in between. But soon I will be back down to my I ain't getting skinny. I don't want to be skinny, honey. I like to have some meat on my bones, but I could I'm gonna start doing my juicing and fasting. So anyway, I go up and down, but I love all parts of me. I am not trying to look like their beauty standards and none of that. I don't care. I used to do that and all this different stuff, and I don't care anymore. I do care about smelling good. I care about loving myself and embracing all of me. I care about being presentable to you. I care about my audience, but I really don't care to fit into to all of that stuff. I've been there and done that. I looked at a picture of myself a few years ago, and I had like, which I do wear it sometimes. Now I like different hair colors and stuff. You might see me like this, and you might see me up here with other hairstyles or whatever. I done that all my life, and women do that. And it doesn't matter whether my hair is blue, blonde, green, or whatever. It's all in how I feel and what I want to wear. So I'm not telling nobody, oh, you have to be like some of these people. Oh, you gotta be natural all the time, and it's whatever make you feel. Long as you feel good on the inside and you doing things with the right intention, I don't care about all of that. I don't care about whether you decide you want to get a BBL or whatever. I'm not gonna necessarily do that, but I'm not judging nobody else. I mean, if you get addicted, you can get addicted to that too. You can get addicted to makeup. You can get addicted to like trying to look like these beauty standards and stuff like that, where you just constantly doing stuff to yourself. It's never you never look good enough to these beauty standards and stuff. And I was looking at a picture of myself a few years ago, and I had like a full ensemble of my makeup and my hair and all this. And I looked at that picture, I said, you know what? It's a pretty picture and it's natural looking and everything. Like I won't overly doing it, but I was like, I kind of look like these women. We be looking like you know how the trans like in like Cause they be in full and all the, yeah, I liked it, but that's just not me anymore. Maybe sometimes, but I'm not doing all of that. I don't, even when I went on TV, I didn't have like overly makeup. You could tell that it was me, but like it was cute. It was pretty. It was really pretty. But when I was on TV, I don't even like. I used to wear a lot of blonde hair, and I don't even like blonde hair like that no more. Now I like. I'm talking about on me. It looks good, but I just like the reddish, like carroty look, like the way my roots look and stuff. I like the reddish, like strawberry, like blonde color now. Yeah, I like that. But anyway, getting back to the country life. Okay, so I tried the country. I grew up in the country. I loved it. I thought I was like the queen of the now or something like that. But when I got up, I realized the world was not as perfect as I thought it was. So I got tired of being like in small areas and all that kind of stuff. And I had to drive like an hour to get to the city and the major cities and all that. So it was in the job market sometimes it was like not as good in that area that I grew up in. So I was like researching to find like where I could have a better income in the field that I was in. So I found that I made better money living in it wasn't a big city, but it was a city, it was the capital of the little town I was from. So it was more of a city. So yeah, it was cool like living there, but I didn't feel the community like feel and stuff when I moved there and I was working. I had the job and the money was okay. It was expensive. The first place I moved was a very expensive town, very high value property. So it was kind of expensive, the apartment that I rented and everything, which I understood that, but I like that area a lot. Like I like living there a lot. I did. I like living there because like it was, even though it was a town that was like at near the capital, it still had like the quality supermarkets and stuff like that that I like. I really was into the Whole Foods back then. I enjoyed the Whole Foods at that particular time. I don't like the Whole Foods where I'm at now. I don't like the whole I used to go in Whole Foods every freaking day. And not only would I shop at the one that was in the area that I moved to where I was working at the hospital, I would eat there. Oh my God, the food used to be so freaking good at Whole Foods. And actually I have visited other Whole Foods in that area. It's like the triangle. It's not like the one that I found when I moved to the town that I moved to near the capital. It's not like that is in a class of its own. I'm talking about I used to get my skincare products and all that from Whole Foods back then. Whole Foods has went down. Whole Foods has definitely went down. Um and I like Sprout Farms. I like it okay. But I don't particularly trust all the food that say it's organic and stuff like that. In certain like in the US, I don't trust it. I don't trust the FDA approvals and none of that. And this didn't just start. When my family member worked with the FDA and they was telling me like, don't, but this was years ago, but I wouldn't believe my family member when they were like, don't believe them, don't trust them. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. When it's organic, it's organic. They was like, I wouldn't I wouldn't believe everything that the FDA say. And I should have listened, but I didn't want to listen because I was like, I'm eating vegan. I was vegan then. I'm like, I'm eating vegan and I'm buying these organic fruits. Hmm. Honey, you better off finding you a local farmer's market. I mean, I know y'all know this, but I'm just saying, like, Whole Foods was in a class of its own because I couldn't find it when I went to the other. It was an area that was a nice area. That Whole Food was okay, but it wasn't like that. That one was like I was buying my skincare from that Whole Food. I was eating hot food there, and I was buying my groceries from there. I'm talking like it's it's something that they have that I really like. It's wild caught. I think it's wild caught salmon. It's like a wild caught salmon salad or something like. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh man, I know some good food and I can cook it too. I'm grateful for my grandmother and for the skills I've added on. But you're gonna pay a little more money in that area. But if I would buy like a property again, I would buy a property in that area probably because I liked it so much. My family members like it so much. I even moved one of my other family members to that location, and they don't even, the people are not. I don't know if they were pretending or what, but the people are nice. They are nice. The people that I was dealing with now, I don't. I think it's probably like some people that's like some assholes there, but for the most part, maybe I met good people because not saying I'm such a perfect person, but I'm just about business. Like I don't I don't be on like no bullshit. So I'm not gonna deal with no bullshit ass people. Like if I feel that upon a person, I'm getting away from them. Like it don't matter what color you are. I don't judge people like based off of like if you gay and all this. And one of my best friends there was like a guy that was like marrying another guy, and I'm like, I don't. It's none of my business. Like so we were like so tight until I think his other friends were getting jealous and they were like, "Oh, you so close with her. Are you changing back over?" And I'm like, "Y'all really are sad to think that that man is that shallow in his belief of, his sexual preferences that he would allow him being close to me change him to being something that he is not even accustomed to being. And he's like really into guys like y'all are. And this was women. These were women that were jealous of the fact that me and this guy were like really close friends. He was gay. I knew it. I didn't care. Like what he really liked is he liked my cooking. We used to go shopping at Whole Foods and I would come home and cook and he would be like, "Girl, you gonna cook some more of that?" So I'd be like, "Yeah, if you want to," and we would just hang out. It won't. I mean, come on. And he would also be like, and at that time I was Miss Flash. He used to call me Beyonce because I was always like, he was like, "You bet." I used to change clothes at work, and I wasn't aware. And it's good to be aware. I wasn't aware that anybody was looking at me or jealous of me or none of that. But he was like, "Girl, I'm gonna use you." He was a mess. He's like, "I'm gonna use you to pull the guys." It's like I'm gonna use. Greetings, everybody. He was like, "I'm gonna use you to pull." I was like, "I thought you." Well, he didn't have a boyfriend at that time, but he was like, "Yeah, we going to this picnic. We going to the company cookout. I'm gonna use you to pull the guys. The guys because you don't want nobody. So the ones that you don't want, I'm gonna get them." I was like, "You are a sick man. You are really a sick." But it's good when you can be comfortable in yourself and out in the open and stuff like that. Like he wasn't on the down low and all of that, so he was happy. He was living in his truth, and I respect it. Like I'm like, hey, better for you to be keeping it a buck and living in your truth than for you to be sitting up here pretending to be something that you're not and trying to make society happy. But the twist to that relationship, listen, this is crazy. Do you know his dad was a grand wizard? I got some stories. His dad was a grand wizard of the KKK, and he told me that. And listen, he used to invite me like to his. He used to give me like keys to his. He had his own money, but the family. I'm sure they had money, but he used to give me the keys to his beach house. He had beach houses and stuff, and then he used to. He even gave me a car. I was like, your dad, what your dad gonna say when he see that you got a sister for a best friend? He was like, he all right long as I don't. And that this is a real friendship. He said, oh, he all right long as I don't marry a one. I was like, oh shit, yeah, he don't gotta worry about that because I ain't married your ass. That's something when you can joke about racism like that because he wasn't like that, but his dad was. He was like, he all right. This is crazy. He said, my dad rather for me to marry a man, a white man, than marry a sister. I was like, well, listen, I went up on my therapy and counseling game. Then I was like, well, listen, You gotta do what you gotta do, brother. I guess I was like, I guess if you do that, he not gonna leave you that inheritance, right? Hey, I am not trying to get in nobody family issues like that, honey, but we still remain friends. But we had a lot of people jealous because we were so tight. The reason why we were tight because we had a lot in common, and we had like when I look at it now that I study astrology and all of that, we were like opposites, so we were like balanced, like cool, like we really we would work together, and then we would hang out together. And people, women, it was mostly women getting jealous and stuff like that, thinking that he was turning away from being gay to being with me. And I'm like, honey, I got it going on. Yeah, I got it going on, but I don't have it like that, boo boo. I can't change nobody identity where they gonna stop liking another sex to turn to me. Like it was crazy. But anyway, I liked it, and I like living. I did not like living in that other small that town that was the main capital. Oh my god, I did not like that. That was not my cup of tea. That was definitely not my cup of tea. The people were horrible. They were basically just like seemed like a bunch of people that was just like trying to keep up with the Joneses, and they were just like superficial, trying to be around this person that had this and this person that had that, and trying to live off of other people's success, and trying to live off of other people's cloud, and even living off of people in general as far as living off of them financially and stuff. And I don't like that kind of stuff. Like I'm like, okay, if you can't get your own, then don't try to take over nobody else's stuff. You know what I'm saying? That they've worked hard for, and that they've actually, put in the time and the blood, sweat, and tears. If somebody want to give you something that's different, but you should not be trying to live off of somebody else's cloud and fame. And that's the only reason you're around them, because you're trying to get something out of them. Now, those were was the that was the group that was in the Capitol, and they were kind of mean, like all the people in general, no matter what their color. It was kind of superficial, mean people. The people that were in the other place that had the higher property value and it was more expensive to live, I noticed that it was a lot of people that were like in same sex marriages and stuff like that were like in higher levels of education and stuff, and they were nicer there. Like I don't know what it was, maybe because they had to go through a lot to be like in the lifestyle in this patriarchal society. They might have had like more understanding and acceptance of people being different and more it was just, I don't know, it was a different energy too. Like I was like, okay, like these people, most of them had like same sex marriages. They were like in the corporate level of the job. Like they had high level positions, but they were like, I'm not saying they were like perfect or kiss ass type, but they just seemed to be more understanding and nice to me. Like it was times when I would be on my way to work and my car was messing up, you know, and it would be strangers that would just stop and help me, and I'm like, wow, because I wouldn't think that people would, even then, I wouldn't think that people would help somebody that they didn't know, because people would be afraid of harm. But these were people, they would help. Like I wasn't expecting to get like that much support, because shit, I've been in that other town that I'm saying that's the capital, and I would be walking like having issues where my tire went flat and stuff like that. And although I do know how to do some stuff, but you would think people would stop. Those people would not stop and help you. So I'm glad I had like AAA. They would just pass you by. Honey, it's been times that I had people that I worked with work at the same facility. The same facility pass me by and blow the horn in the freaking snow. Yes, in this town, this capital. This wasn't back home, but this was in the capital. They would blow the horn and walk right by me, and I just thought that was. I mean, because I grew up in a smaller town and more like I grew up with I did grow up with community at one point, and it seemed like we had a group of people that was supportive and pulling together. with my the church family, my grandmother, and the small area I was from. So I just thought that was like, wow, like that. And I've seen that happen a lot. Like I was riding with somebody in that particular town, and they passed some people that they knew and just kept on glowing and splattered water on them. They passed these motherfuckers passed somebody that they know that they done got help from, and they come back, come back. Greetings, I'm back. It was interrupted. It was me. It wasn't no Facebook worried about what I'm talking about. They evidently they don't think I'm a threat, I guess, right now. So it was me. It was me. I'm not gonna get up here and say, "Oh my God, Facebook is interrupted." Please, it's not them. It's me. I'm keeping it above. But yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking some interesting stuff. Oh yeah, that really kind of bothered me because I'm originally from a smaller place, and I've traveled everywhere. Like I've even been out of the country, but my original roots is from a smaller, like tight knit community. Not perfect because, like I said, I thought it was when I was a kid. The way I grew up, if I had been sheltered like Plattsville, I'd have been out here like really, really pitiful because I would have been really thinking like, even in this little town, this it was not little, but it was compared to the city that I moved to. It's small. It's like I moved to like a real. I've been to a real not. I've been to a real like show enough cities like New York, Philadelphia, Boston, Mass. Have I been to New England County and all that? What did I say? Philadelphia, New Jersey, uh, Texas. Oh, Colorado. Um, Detroit. Have I been to I think I've been to Detroit. What out west? What's some other places out west? Kansas. It's not too Florida. It's not too many places that I have not traveled to in the U.S. and I've been out of the country also. So I'm from a small area, but I have diversified and traveled, and I have diversity of cultures that I associate and befriend. So I don't try to just like stay small minded and stay in one area and not, understand and research and get to know other cultures and this and that. So I don't just think like, I got everything figured out. My people know everything. It's my belief and it's right. I'm always trying to learn. I'm a student for life. I'm always trying to learn and better myself, not just physically, but spiritually, psychological, the whole body, mind, and soul experience is what I'm about. Not just thinking like, well, I got it all figured out, and this is what my pastor said, and this is what my mama and daddy said, and if they said it, then I believe it. If God said it, then I believe it. I'm not changing up. I'm gonna hold on to, because people don't always have it right. My Lord knows I love my people. I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my grandparents. I love all of them, the greats, and um, even the spiritual leaders and the people that has mentored me, the good teachers and the good professors, that I've even had in college that was able to tell me like, oh, your GPA is good, don't quit, don't quit. When I was going through some tough times, and I've been to school a few times, but the last particular time when I was like really going through a lot, and my professor pulled me to the side and was like, you really have a high GPA, right? And I didn't know that. Like I was thinking like I'm just fitting in there with everybody else. I'm like, I ain't really, because sometimes we don't really commend ourselves or pat ourselves on the shoulders or give ourselves praise when we should be looking in the mirror saying, listen, you are perfect, you are fine, just like you are. I accept you. You doing your thing. You got to tell yourself that, because sometimes if you don't, nobody will. They'll make you think like it's not enough. You need to do more. Like you're not good enough. You gotta boost yourself. You gotta praise yourself and congratulate yourself. So my professor pulled me to the side and was like, yo, you know your GPA pretty good. Like it's pretty high. You need to stick with this. Like you got it. I didn't think I mean, I thought I was doing okay. I knew I wasn't failing, but I didn't think I was popping like that, you know. So that was something good to know. But yeah, so yeah, that was an experience of seeing that person do that type of thing with the just passing by. And I realized people in the cities, they are not as compassionate, and sometimes that southern hospitality is fake. They smile and act nice. So you got to be careful with that too. Because sometimes the southern hospitality isn't what it seems. And in the city, you be like, oh, they not nice. But I was in New York one time. And do you know I had people that was at the train station and stuff carrying my bags for me? So I had the people taking my bags for me at the, what's that train station where they play? They have the Gothic Batman? What's the train station in New York that they have all the movies and stuff too? What is it called? The Grand Central Station. I had people there taking my bags with me to the train. I was getting off the look. I was brave enough, a country girl, to ride a subway more than once in my life. The first time I was on the subway in New York, I was up there with a friend of mine. We were like trying to explore. I, I'd be a daredevil sometimes. So my friend was like, "Let's get on the subway." I was like, "Yeah, I want to ride a subway." We got on the subway. It was somebody up there talking about blowing it up, honey. I was like, "Oh shit!" Today I ain't about to get out of here. Let me get off this, but I wrote it. I was like, "This man, creepy, crazy people up there." Look, and then a few years ago, before the the thing hit in 2020, the C hit. I was up there on the subway, and I done went. I was trying to. What was I going? I wrote it. Oh, I was coming back. I was coming back. So I had to catch the subway. And I didn't have to, but I want to go on an adventure. I was kind of pissed off anyway. So I'm coming back from Atlantic City, but I didn't go there on. I didn't go on the train and the subway to Atlantic City. I went with my friends, but something happened where I had to get the bus, then I had to get the subway, then I got the train back to where I was going at, New England County. So uh, the bus was okay and all that. Now when I get to the subway station, I'm having to catch a track to get to the train or whatever, the train I need to take me to New England County. So I'm walking down a dark. I'm about to walk down this track. Well, I see these people looming in the damn thing where it's dark. They like looming in the shadows. I jumped that track and turned my ass around. I was not about to go there. I knew better than it. Look, it looked like it was they was guiding people to go there. Now I guess that's where they get you at. I don't know. I'm joking. Hey, this is my son got a 777. This is for entertainment purposes. I'm up here. I be up here joking and tripping and having a good time. Um, Silly. So it's telling me the directions. It's telling me I gotta go through this tunnel to catch my track to get to the train that I need to get on because I'm transferring from the subway to the train and I'm not used to riding. So I see these people looping down this tunnel and I'm about to walk. I look down. I said, "Oh hell no!" As soon as I turn around and go back up there, I see I see where I'm supposed to go. But I'm not all riding all the time. Like I'm not riding the subway, so I wouldn't have known. But imagine if I would have walked down there. That's probably where they take the people underground. That's where they probably get. They probably get the ones that don't know, get them, take them underground. I don't know. But I got my ass on the right train, and there was people helping me take my bag on the train from the subway. I was like, damn, let me find out. Yeah, the south done turned to the north, and the north done turned to the south. Then my crazy ass up on this dating. I was on this. I ain't on no sites now, but I was on this dating site. Forgot that I had to move fast because I don't know if I forgot. I was just playing. I might have been just playing with them. My people that I was talking to, they was like, "You in my area? Come see me." You know how that dating app pop up and then show the people. They was like, "You coming all the way from the south and you up here right down the corner from me and you ain't gonna come see me." I was actually right around the corner from the people that was trying to like, date me and stuff. in New York. So they was like, I see you in the area. Because when I was on the train and I was on the subway, even when I was in Atlantic City, it was popping up that I was like 3 minutes away. I was like, you won't see me today. I'm jumping on that train going back to New England County fast, honey. So I hopped on the train. I got from the subway. So I have my experiences and stuff in the city. I've enjoyed myself. I don't have too many regrets. There's some other things I would love to do, some more traveling and this and that. But I have enjoyed myself. Um, so yeah, but that's the city. That's city. That's the real city. That the place I was at in the south, it was a capital, but it was a smaller like city. It won't no. Now it's some southern cities like Atlanta and Texas and Georgia and all that. So now, um, so it's some pros and cons. It's some pros and cons to living in the country. It's some pros and cons to living in the city. Now, my experience actually living, having lived recently in a big city, it was at first a culture shock. Cause see, I visited cities, but I never really like lived, so it was like a real like culture shock for me at first. Cause like visiting somewhere for a few weeks and living somewhere is two totally different things. So me living in the city at first, I was like, oh my God, these people drive so crazy. Like, oh my Lord. I can't. They drive crazy, like crazy, 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 crazy. And the area that I moved to, I didn't like none of the grocery stores. And you know, I'm very particular. Like, I didn't like none of the. So I had to research and find like meat markets, farmers markets, stores that is a quality to my liking. Cause me, I grew up on the land, so I'm used to a certain quality of meats. I'm used to a certain quality of foods and fish. And I noticed like the place that I moved to, the quality at the grocery store and even the quality just it's just not good. Just not a good quality. So I had to drive. Not you know what? I realized that I'm not as far away from the places that I want to go. I was like, oh my God, where am I? What location? Its location is everything. So by me, what have I done? I've changed my mindset to the point where I'm finding everything that I need. It's really a state of mind. Like, I'll go. I noticed when I went in the woods, nah, it ain't no damn woods. I'm used to going in the woods and meditating, and if they watching me from that Elon Musk, I don't know it because we got like a lot of forest area where I'm originally from, and even with that, when I was in the place where I'm from, and I go to the trails, I know they got cameras in there watching you, but I got a little more privacy from people. Honey, I was in this big city, and I went to a trail. I'm in a little wooded area. I ain't gonna say wood. I found me a little wooded area, and I'm in there grounding. I'm grounding with a tree. I'm doing my qigong. I'm doing my horse stance and doing my stretching and connect. I see a little slither of the sun shining through the trees. Do you know I got somebody watching? They watch. They just standing there watching me, and I'm like, that used to bother me because even where I live, like, it's a few old trees. So I'll go out to the tree and I'll ground and stuff like that. These people be watching me, and I used to do my like ancestral venerations and stuff, and I would like just throw the food out. With the ancestral venerations, they say throw the food out to the trees and whatever, because the trees, that's ancient. That's the root. The trees are really important. Like, I think people used to think I was crazy when I first got up here and was talking about how important it is to connect with the trees, but in the military, they use the trees to tell them what direction to go in when they doing the what you call it? They doing not. I'm not gonna say the hunting, or they doing the tracking. The tracking. The trees help the military and the special ops to track certain locations and track different things, animals and people and stuff like that. They say talk to the trees, but I've been doing this since I was a child. I've been in the tree. That was just like yeah, nobody had to teach. That was just natural for me. I was always in the trees, climbing just in the trees and stuff. So Yeah, I'm very connected with that. But yeah. So I feel like in the city, I'm being watched, but now I got used to it. I don't give a damn. I don't need. I used to bother me. I used to look at because I'm used to like grilling out and having my privacy to a certain point, and I'm just used to space. I don't like when I think about buying a property again. I'm looking at like I don't want to be like right on top of somebody because the houses in the city it's like you can stick your hand out the door and you can touch your neighbor. I don't like that. So I know I would like, want to be, and I don't want to deal with no crazy ass HOAs because I deal with the one I deal with in the present. They full of shit. Most of them, like before you buy a home in anywhere, make sure that you know what the rules are and everything, and you research and see what's going on with that. Cause they taking people houses over $500 and all kind of shit. These old people is getting played and tricked by not just the government and these small hats in New York taking these older people properties, but these HOAs is doing it too all over. They if they owe like a few $100s, these old people have their houses paid off like $1 million houses paid off, and the HOA take their house for on a few. So yeah, and you want to make sure you got your property like in a trust, the right type of trust and stuff, and your land in the trust and all of that. Hell, the land up under there, some kind of way they saying that you might not own the land under land. Do your proper due diligence of research now because a lot of people land is being stolen from right under their noses and they don't know it. So you want to have your paperwork, like you want to have your stuff in a type of a certain type, and you want to have it written up a certain type of way too. So, and you might say, well, I own this raggedy house and it ain't valuable and this and that, but they'll take your shit and regentrify it. Like I done seen shotgun houses that was like crack houses and stuff that they regentrify, and those people that when they regentrify it, they put certain stuff in the communities, and it's you should see how it's they got flower beds and flower gardens and the house is redone and marble floor. If it's an old house, man, it can be fixed up. I mean, it can be fixed. You might not have the means to do it, and you might be like, well, if I sell it, I can get it. Sometimes it might be best to sell, but if you can just hold out, sometimes I don't know. I don't know to each his own, but it's you really don't supposed to sell if you're gonna sell property. You're supposed to keep it for a certain amount of time and let it gain equity and stuff like that. You don't just supposed to sell your stuff quick like that. So selling the family house, I don't know. It just depends on what your situation is and everything. But you can use it as equity and build even more and buy even more property and stuff like that. But anyway, living in the country has its benefits and it has its cons. Living in the city has its pros and its cons. In my opinion, I would like a more balanced outcome of maybe not being too far from the city, but I would still want the feel of the country. Like I would want to be like maybe 30 minutes away from the city, maybe not no hour or two. But it depends now if we, with what we got going on now. I just don't. It's just you just gonna have to be flexible and go with the flow with gas and all of that. But anyway, like I said, I would rather be close to it, but not live right there in the midst of this. It's no, because it's like I like my privacy. I'm a I'm a sort of introvert. I don't mind socializing, but I'm very particular because of probably the things I've been through with people. So I don't particularly just be like, "Hi, my name is my son. I want to be your friend." I'm not into all that. Like I'm like, what? Tell me what you want from it, like DMX. What y'all really want from her? DMX. That song was in my mind the other day. I was like, what you really want from her? What y'all really want from her? DMX song. I love DMX. Rest in power to him. His music was so uplifting. Like his music is deep. I mean, when you like that music is he's a prophet. DMX, yeah, he was a powerful one. Been through a lot of pain and heartbreak and betrayal when he was a child, and it just came out in his music like a bullet, like a fire, you know. DMX. So yeah, the country versus the city, I would like a balance of the both, like not being too far, but I don't want to be too close to nobody. Like, and um, it's like it just seemed like I've been the by choice. I have outreach. Like I don't really mess with the government with it, but I kind of do it on my own, like a charity, My Yacht's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love, because I decided like I don't want to be. I don't know. I don't really want to be a 501c to the point where I have to be controlled by them because it's been so infiltrated and all of that. It's just so much going on with everything is corrupt. So I'm trying to, be able to be authentic with my stuff and not have to compromise to get grants and all that kind of stuff with them and all that mess. But anyway, I started out thinking that I wanted to be a 501c. It's on the table now because it's a lot going on, and I look at all the legislature and this and that, and I'm just very careful not to blur and cross the lines. To the point where I have to compromise myself and what I believe. I want to be free and sovereign. I believe in sovereignty and being able to be in free will. I believe that we are born sovereign beings and with free will, and we need to try to do what we can to stay that way. When we come here, they put these birth certificates and all these chains and all these indoctrinations on us. But before all of that, we got to be finding out who are you with all of that, without all of the indoctrination and the constructs and the religions. You were born without all that. Who are you at the core from within? So, and yeah, Kanye took us to the firmament. He done went to the firmament. He was standing on top of the moon. He was standing on top of the firmament at his show. I do not believe they went to the moon. I don't believe they ever went to the moon. This is a dome up here. They can't go out of here. So I don't believe none of that mess. I don't believe it. That was just a ritual. I like like they were saying, somebody was saying on their show, it was just a freaking ritual. Like it was with the green screens back in the day. And they hold us from technology. They hold us back. They already had all this stuff that we created and forgot that we did. When we born, like the men in black, they flash us with them lights and we forget all of it. And these people been here remembering for thousands of years. They might not live 500. They already on top of their game because, honey, they retaining their memory and they are not dying. And I got a news flash for you. We are not supposed to be dying at no 100 years old, at no 60 years old, at no 70 years old either. If you will look in your Old Testament, and I said this years ago up here, if you will go and look and read in your Old Testament, not these new ones, but these old Bibles and these Old Testaments, it will tell you that people live to be thousands of years old. You are supposed to be living to be thousands of years old. They have hacked and destiny swapped with you and play with your DNA and poison you to the point where you die way before your time. You're really not old now if you're 70 years old. You're probably really honestly like one, because you're supposed to be living to be 1,000 years old at the least 500. Okay, it's people here that have been living for 500 years or more. And that's why when you're reborn into this bullshit that's supposed to be a nursery, but it's really it's supposed to be a training camp slash nursery, but they done created it into being a fucking hell for you to drain your energy and to live off of your lush, and not just that, to live off of eating you. Y'all ready for this? I was doing water treatment at back home as I moved back home for a few years. And at first it was kind of weird because everything was slow and everything slowed down and the money was slow and all of that. And I was doing it for the family purposes, to help the family. But I was not happy about that decision because I was so used to the money and the fast. not fast money as far as the live, but I was just used to a faster pace. It wasn't a big city, but it was more opportunity. I could, make it pop better yeah, close to the capital more than I can being like an hour and a half away from the city. So I was happy with it because I went through a lot of transformations, and it was financially it sucked, but spiritually, it's what I needed. I needed to let go and let the goddess and the God, righteous Father, I needed to get in touch with myself and be in the present and heal from trauma. Oh my God, healing from trauma. That is life changing when you start healing and getting restored. You just don't, things don't get the same. The desires, the things that you desired, it changes. It changes. It really is in a good way. So yeah, when I moved, what was I talking about? Oh, I got a job one time. I was doing water treatments because I'm about talking about the water. Don't you know that the water where was is from is the highly concentrated water of PFAS chemicals in the U.S. That water is more concentrated in Michigan. So I don't think the people that live there, most of them don't know that. But the people that move there know it and they got water filters, but the people from there, nobody really has water filters like they should. So I'm trying to figure out, it must have been done on purpose because they're not even providing those people with water filters. That water is the highest. If you look on the map, when I moved to the city, the people in the city, this guy was telling me that he was working trying to clean up the water years ago there, and they were still putting rocket fuel in the water. In that area, like they were dumping rocket fuel in the water. I don't know if it was on purpose or what, but that is the highly concentrated area of forever chemicals, PFAS chemicals in the U.S. Okay, and the people that moved there know it, so they got filters. But the people there is being poisoned, and they wonder why they act crazy. They wonder why they got problems with cancers and thyroid, all kind of kidneys failures, organ failure, heart failure, all infertility. All that is going on because the food and the water is highly concentrated with. And I'm like, I'm so grateful, like because and you got people, even people that's getting like I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but it probably does. Between that and the chemicals that they put in their hair, young people with brain tumors and all kinds. And there's a lot of people that shouldn't even pass away. They don't pass away. They don't pass away young. And I call 70 and 60 young. And you know damn well 30 and 40 and 20 is young. People don't realize that they take people. This is a death cult. This is a fucking death cult. They take people out by design. They work and research. When they in those world economic forums and stuff, do you know they are not trying to figure out how to keep humanity alive and how to make humanity whole again? You thinking like one day you're gonna wake up and they're gonna be like, oh, we have decided that we're gonna give everybody a new life. We're going to give you reparations. We're going to give you a health care free. We're going to give you a healing bed where you can just go in and you can lay in that bed and it'll cure you from all types of diseases that would ever think about coming to you. You know they can do that. They holding the technology back. It's the cure for matter of fact. There is no such thing as disease. The body is lacking nutrients. The body is out of whack because it does not have the nutrients and the vitamins that it needs because they really take shit. They even take the shit out of the food, depleting the soul, so your body will not get the nutrients it needs. So you will not be able to compete with them and live for hundreds and thousands of years. Okay, and I got this download when I was at a funeral in 2021 before I moved. I was at a funeral of a family member, and I was sitting in the church, and the preacher was preaching, and he was talking about how that the people, he was reading something from the Old Testament, and he was talking about how somebody lived 1,000 years, and all of a sudden it hit me, and I got a download about like we not supposed to be. They lying about time. They lying about our age. We probably only been here in this matrix for like 3 seconds, and we thinking we've been here for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 15 years, 40 years, 100. This is this we are not we supposed to be retaining our memory, and we're also supposed to be living longer than this little bit of time. That's why people look at me strange when I'm like, 100 years old is not old. It's and your mind is the biggest muscle. Your mind is the biggest muscle. We need to stop letting these people take us out before our time. We need to stop trusting them with anything concerning that. They all are part of the program. The healthcare, the all of them. Even if the doctors don't know it, and I've seen a lot of doctors come out and talk about how they, branched away from the all of that stuff, like the medicine, because it's not. They're not making this medicine to help you. They making it to keep you in a state of needing more medicine. It's never solving an issue. Like, you're gonna have to, like the Bible say, and I don't trust all these books that they say that God wrote and God said this and God said that, and these people gotta be taking each other out for land because God said you the chosen people, and I can go take your shit and kill you and then rape your little girls and anyway. I don't buy onto a lot of religious rhetoric because it's really military control, in my opinion. But you can take it and use it and chew the meat, spit it, and use it for what it's really about. We're supposed to be going within and using Jesus as an example to become a better version of ourselves. So, how to treat people and how to have morals. Because it was some people that didn't have it in them to have morals, so they needed a book. They needed that book so that they would not be just if they didn't have if some groups of people didn't have the Bible. Look at what's going on there. Them motherfuckers is eating babies. Imagine what we be if we didn't have no. I'm just saying, if they didn't think, well, if I'm gonna go to hell, I'm just being real. Some people probably do need that shit. Like, they need to think that they're gonna go to hell or heaven and all this and that because they don't have a moral compass. Because if they can do the stuff that they do, you gotta be able to go within and use these books as for confirmation and a reference of what you dig into and tap into within you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like, don't get too into no books. Get the confirmation from within and use the books as a tool. We use all this shit as a tool, whether it's the books, the religious books, the counselors, the pastors, whatever. Like, if you using something for meditation, like a mushroom or whatever, use that. Don't let it use you. Okay, you use it as a tool. This stuff is put AI. Yeah, they say that's it's disembodied creatures, and it might be, and it's stuff that we created, and da 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 da. It's gonna maybe come against humanity. Well, use that as a tool. You should be training it. You should figure out a way to train yours to benefit you. So if you do need it to battle, it can come against the other shit, right? We can't look at everything as black and white. Oh no, I'm gonna stay away. You can't stay away from some stuff. Sometimes you gotta face it. You gotta go into the unknown. You gotta face the darkness, because in the darkness there is light. Everything was created from the darkness. Everything. So you don't need to be in fear and say, "Oh Lord, I'm not gonna." You better learn this. You better use this shit for tools and learn it. How you gonna defeat your enemy if you don't know your enemy and you don't know what tactics they use? Why you gonna be naive and be in the blind? I'm not keeping nothing from myself. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not keeping nothing from myself. If I crash and burn, then I'm like the Phoenix, honey. I'll be what you call it, restored and renewed and rise again. Shit. I'm not gonna be in no fear. No, oh Lord, I'm not gonna build. I wanna learn. I wanna learn. And when I get something from the AI, I say thank you. Thank you very much. And I appreciate it. Because what? All this demon, and they got the Pope up here talking about people getting put. Listen, you better control them demons. You think them demons that they talking about? I ain't talking about that. Them doing they stuff or whatever. They bringing up them ancient deities that want to eat kids and all that. I ain't talking about that stuff. I'm talking about what's inside of you. You better learn to heal yourself and control your demons and use them for your good. Some of your ancestors is demons. What do you think? Some of you ain't all your Lord self might be a fucking demon. You don't like, oh, the Bible said I better catch. You better be like, look, bitch, I'm tired of this chaos. I'm tired of all this drama. I'm tired of you getting it in on me and running them up. Sit your ass down. Let's sit our ass down and figure out why all this is going on within me. We gonna work this. We gonna work together. Okay? We gonna work together because I'm tired of you running the muck on me and I'm running the muck. We gonna work together and make this because I know you in chaos and I know you need some balance and some order and I know it's undisciplined in there. Okay, it's just doing what it want to do. Just all over the place. But we gonna sit down and we gonna come together and we gonna figure this thing out because it's me and you in this. Okay, don't nobody else give a damn. Send help. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Send help. That's a good movie. I did not think it was gonna turn out like it did. Look, my people was like, they say it's a feminist movie. That, but at first I was like, no, this ain't no feminist. But you know what? You can't play with people. Everybody ain't out here playing games. There's some people out here playing for keeps. That's a good movie. Send help. I looked at it last night. But yeah, they running amok on you. So hey, you don't have to get a hold of yourself. You know you're not supposed. You know you're not supposed to be overdoing it. You know you need some more balance in your life. You know your life is in shambles and stuff. You know you sitting at that crossroad and then you feel like you ain't got nowhere to turn. Cause it's time to turn within. That's what it's time to do. But yeah, somebody said they don't think that's Kanye and he in a sunken place. Well, I don't know if that's Kanye. He said if he go missing, then y'all know that they got him. And he did went missing when they said he went to Africa. Then he come back married to that lady that be acting like his handler. So they probably did get him. And then when they get in that industry, they sign contracts and stuff. They say allegedly this is my son goddess. This is for entertainment purposes. They said they sign contracts and stuff to be cloned when they go in there and stuff. Maybe whether they know it or not, it's a they have to be. They say Beyonce got taken out in 2000. That's a clone. They said she was over there in Africa with Epstein allegedly. They said she was hunting hunting them people harder than them damn other people. That's why everybody's scared of her. You remember when 50 Cent was like, "Don't send your girl." Said Beyonce came at him hard. They said Beyonce ain't no. She probably get over there, got over there in Africa, and like they said. They said she was having babies on the low for them to eat. I don't know. Allegedly, this is my son, guys. This is for entertainment purposes. Listen, we sit up there and listen to them people. Oh my God, they so yeah, they horrible. But you got people in your family that got that stuff in their bloodline too, cause they be doing shit to kids. They might not do it at the level that Epstein did it in them and eating babies because they don't have the power and the money. But what if they had that kind of power with the pedophilia and stuff they do, and the rape they do with their sisters and their little brothers and they kin people and their cousins. They raping them as much as they can in the families, and they doing stuff and taking. Do you see what happens when a child is innocent is taken? What happens to that child? But and we have an example of that many times. But recently, the guy Africa Bambaataa, he passed away, and I seen an interview of a man that's 50 years old now. That man is 50 years old, and he said that when he was a little boy, he went to the African Bambaataa studio, and that man said that he was asked to go in the bedroom. He said that when he went in the bedroom, here come the man, African Bambaataa went in there. Said he took his stuff out, and then he told the little boy to take his out or whatever. And I guess he was went on from that to do other explicit stuff to him or whatever. He said then he went out of the room and another man came in there and did the same thing or whatever. This boy was probably like not even 9. He didn't understand. He said he didn't understand what was going on at the time. This a grown rusty tail man doing this, and it wasn't just that incident. Hassan Campbell said that stuff happened to him. It's been other incidents with that man, and everybody kept it hush hush. And that's what we do. We look at these people and be like, "Yeah, my community don't do stuff like that. We don't do stuff like that. We ain't." Man, it's been going on in the community. That man said he could not have a relationship with a woman. When he get with a woman and he get ready to get into it, his thing gets soft because he start thinking about what happened to him with that situation with that African Bambaataa man. And our community does that too. We can't just talk about other cultures because we have a lot of hush hush, quiet as kept. Then the boys be at church, they be gay, and we want to say that's a sin. But the whole time it be the pastor that done took the boy innocence or whatever, or the pope, or the choir boy. Been all them men in this video that got taken advantage of when they were little boys. It was over 100 men in this room, and some of them were married, some of them had went on to be this and that and the third and had families, and they still older men dealing with that trauma of being their innocence being taken when they were little boys. And we overlook the men and the boys. We always, oh, the girls, oh, the girls. Man, they want little boys. Just like in them, this old Jewish lady told me years ago, and like I said, I taught the different diversities of people. She said, "Don't trust your boys around the Greeks. That's all they want is a little boy's booty hole." That's not just them, and that's not just over there in Greece. That's here. That's in the home. That's in the freaking community. Whether you know it or not, that's in the church. That's in the home. You know that some of these children, their own parents be taking advantage of them. You thinking, oh, they got it made. They come from the 1%, or they the elite, or they pastors, and they got the children is being taken advantage of by their own fathers and mothers. I ain't even gonna get a women a break. You be thinking that they not doing that to their kids. It be these people out here that when you meet them, they, oh Lord, I like you and you're wonderful. You have one. They go home and take the innocence of their own children. It's happening right as we speak, and it don't matter. You think, oh well, this color and that color is chosen people, and we don't do it. Man, you chosen because you choose yourself. Motherfuckers is doing it of all colors, shapes, and sizes. They doing it. They doing it. It's a spiritual thing, and it might be a bloodline because we got some. We talk about them people, but we got some of them dirty Moors and them damn conquistadors in our bloodlines too. We gonna have to purify ourselves. I don't know how we gonna do it because y'all act like y'all ain't got no backbone. Y'all act like y'all don't know how to pull together and run amok on these motherfuckers. Okay, y'all ain't got no backbone. They over there in UK going that this going down. They tired of their daughters getting great. They over there doing the damn thing over there. I heard they down there running it down over there in Spain. They got some backbone. You mean to tell me you gonna sit here and let these people they eating babies and they taking your children from the schools and stuff? You still got your kids in these public schools? You know what they doing and you ain't running amok on these motherfuckers off with their head? It's a time to overthrow. It's a time to throw hands, and it's time to overthrow motherfuckers. Okay, and come together and overthrow motherfuckers. When they doing too much, you gotta set them down. They don't know when to sit down. You have to sit them down. So, hey everybody. So yeah, I'm about to get off of here now. I've been up here long enough. Yep. This has been Monster and Goddess, and it's getting dark now. Nobody see me. Now you can see me. You can see the beauty of my sun goddess. So yeah, this don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. So Dickinson to nigga, I wouldn't stand up. You done left. You better come back. I did stand up, but I was off the not off here. So yes, start raining. So yeah, between living in the country and the city is pros and cons both. I would like to be balanced and have a little bit of both. Not too much of just balance, you know. I do love the country. I do love nature though, but I know it's some things I might need from the city. So I like to have the best of both worlds, but I want my space. I don't want to be right up on top of nobody when I'm right there reaching my hand out. I'm right there by my neighbor like that. I need space because that's what I'm used to. So. And we say Kanye took us to the firmament and took us in space from his concert. So I think I've said everything I wanted to say today. Greetings and thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and joining in. Joining in, protect the children, protect the children, get some backbone, protect the children, protect the children. Yeah, you can let go of any addiction or any habit. You wasn't born with it. You can stop. You can let go of it. It's about healing and doing that nasty work and that working on yourself. It's about healing you, healing your soul, healing your inner man. This has been my son Goddess 777. Support my young temple, healing and unconditional love. Thank you for subscribing, and sharing. You have a wonderful Sunday.